What's up, guys? It's Gwen. Trying something new today. Normally, I get my gameplay and I edit it all together, make it look nice and pretty, but honestly, that takes a really long time. So in order to give you guys more content and make it easier for me, I'm just going to play a few games. I'm going to record myself doing it. I'm going to talk over my thought processes and try to go over things that I think are useful for you as maybe a new or, intermediate, or maybe you're a really good Kiddo player and you just want to see how I think on some stuff. So do me a favor, guys, and let me know what you think of this format. Put it in the YouTube comments or put it in the Discord post. Just let me know, like, is this useful for you? Would you like faster content but less edited? The video is going to be a little on the longer side just because, again, it's me playing games and I'm just talking over my gameplay, so it'll be a little longer than your regular, like, concise edited video, but hey, that's up to you guys. Let me know what you think. Here we go. So I actually have made a single Kiddo guide before. I'm going to finish my character breakdowns at some point. I just have not. Apparently this guy's a fucking LCS League player, and if that's actually him, that's pretty cool. So obviously Kiddo's LMB is like a Karthus Q. It's a small AoE, goes over terrain. Kind of a bit of a wind up. His Q is this Anivia ult looking thing. These people... Sorry, if Denizo Halindo is watching, I don't mean to offend you. It might be hard to get, like, solid gameplay tips out of some of these lobbies right now, just because... I'm not trying to flame, the lobbies just don't require as much effort as, like, ranked competitive, that's just the way it is. Yeah, so Q's that Anivia ult, it slows and does tick damage over time, and it applies a burn that lasts, like, I don't know, man, 2 seconds maybe? I'm sure I could look it up. Not much does it say. It does not say how long the burn is. I want to say it's like 2 seconds. Let's find a mob or something to tick it off on. It's probably a solid, like, 2 to 3 seconds, actually, yeah. His space is shield and move speed. You guys can see that here. And his E, his ultimate's that giant nuke that he drops on people. In threes, Kiddo's role is predominantly, I'm going to throw out the disclaimer ahead of time that a lot of these kind of tips and stuff are just going to be generalizations on how you usually quote play Kiddo. Obviously unique play styles and build paths change that around a lot, but we're just going to be speaking generally here, right? So also my gameplay might be lacking while I'm focusing more on talking than I am on gameplay, as opposed to when I'm streaming I'm focusing more on gameplay and less on talking. So if you see me just walking in circles, that's why. Also ADD brain. Kiddo's role in threes, kind of artillery mage style AoE zone control. The Q in the ult just provides so much space to your team on top of just a fuck ton of damage, but he just creates a lot of zoning potential. Cuts off large areas. I want those CDR boots. Fuck me then. If we find a team to fight, then I will take a moment to explain how I'm Alright, not optimal. Sidestep the Kitsu ult. See. How... This is a great time to talk about Kiddo positioning. Kiddo obviously does not have iframes or invincibility frames, which makes him extremely vulnerable to, if you're positioning poorly, you're just going to get ass blasted. So you can see there, we jumped over and I'm melee range of a Chuck. 10 out of 10 times I die to that. There's just no way Chuck's not gonna run me down. So here we need to be really careful with our positioning. So Sophia gets dash resets, which means I am no longer safe near my Sashimi. I can't even be around this corner right now, honestly. Because if I'm that Sophia, I'm going to turn, I'm going to dash through Sashimi, and I'm going to dash onto Kiddo. So opposite of the Chuck thing, we need to, because we don't have iframes, we need to make sure we're positioning like gods at all times. Container Zone's a terrible spot for us to fight, because there's no way for me to see Sophia ahead of time, because there's so many of these tight corners. See, look, she's trying, look at that. She's trying to dash to me. That is a good example of positioning. I know what Sophia's win con is. She needs to try to dash through Sashimi and get to me. So I don't take the time to attack. I don't take the time to Q, auto attack, ult, because all those things stop my movement. The number one priority for me there is first get out of space range and then worry about doing damage. Which I'd say is a pretty key thing for Kiddo in general. Survivability needs to always be, unless you're trading out it, unless you know you're going to get a kill and you're going to get health back, which is going to let you survive, survivability needs to be Kiddo's first priority pretty much all the time. Because again, no iframes, all he has is a movement speed buff. Make sure you're going to live first, worry about doing damage later. And honestly, if someone's chasing you down, that means they're not hitting your teammates. You're doing I mean, that's still value for your team. If someone is chasing you and they're not hitting someone else, you can just keep running. I mean, I trust Medicine and Cap to clean up whoever else is there. Sashimi's going to bail me out at some point, or the person chasing me is going to realize they're not going to catch me. So, yeah, bad positioning, jump padding directly into melee range of a Chuck. Like I said, 10 out of 10 times I'm going to die there. Good positioning, knowing that Sophia's win con is dashing through Sashimi to get to me. So normally, like if I'm fighting against a Skinny or a Froggy, then I'm very safe near my Sashimi. If we're fighting against a Sophia, though, now Sashimi is actually a hindrance to my survival. Because if Sashimi's in front of me, Sophia just dashes through him, and then I'm dead. We covered some good stuff in that game. Let's do it again. We didn't really have any team fights. I want to show you more positioning in like an open field. Of course, again, this is a terrible map for open field fighting because there's just a bajillion little tight corners everywhere. So we'll see what we can make work. Let's see, last playtest, last ranked playtest that I played in, I don't know who I was queuing with, but I had a 0 damage taken Kiddo game with like 8 kills or something. That is prime Kiddo positioning. No one even touched me. I mean, but like we just now said, positioning needs to be your first priority on Kiddo. If you ever see me like chasing after someone, especially like an Anna or a Skinny or something, that's just me being disrespectful. So many times those people can just turn on you immediately. So even right here, I'm going to take a second while they clean that up. Even right here, I'm trying not to just ego play this so you guys can see better mechanics, but even here, just coming around the corner the long ways instead of cutting the corner close, it's just helping I guess like limit the threats that I have to me, you know, because I know there's a Sashimi in there. I think it was a Sashimi based on the auto attacks we heard. I don't want to be cutting around a corner close and just eating a full CC chain, you know. But if I give myself a little bit of room there, less likely that I'm gonna get hit by something. That applies to any range character though. Being careful when you're going around corners. Let's talk itemization, though. We can talk itemization for Kiddo. I'll put a little chapter marker in the YouTube thing. Again, if you guys have not seen my 5 tricks to climb video, definitely watch that, though. That talks a lot about how important terrain is. And like how considering terrain should be part of your win cons when you're going through each one of your games. But anyway, itemization. Kiddo's... Where do we want to start with this? Kiddo's pretty damn flexible. My advanced itemization video also goes into a lot of examples on what you should be considering each time you are itemizing. So just to give some like quick examples, alright, see here? Alright. We'll talk about itemization later. Cool. In that scenario, there's no threats to us. We're totally fine to just sit there and keep attacking because everyone's focusing Sashimi. And if they do jump to us, I have a barrel right here. I just knock it into myself. and then they take a barrel to the face. But if you guys saw earlier with the TV right here, I started trading at first, and then he dropped his clone. I no longer want to trade into that because I don't know TV's items. I don't know how much damage he has, and it's fucking impossible for Kiddo to dodge a TV laser unless the TV is god awful. So instead of trading items and instead of like trying to keep attacking him, I just backed up because again, positioning first priority for Kiddo. I don't want to take a laser to the face. Now suddenly I'm 1/3 health and I'm slowed, ready for someone else to chain off of that, you know? One of the cons of talking about this in real time is that you guys can't see that right now, obviously, as I talk about it, because it happened like 30 seconds ago. So that's unfortunate, but the, here's Kiddo value, too. We know the jump pad lands, like, right there. We can just keep attacking him. Yeah, I would have done damage to him. So not my favorite spot to fight. Got Kiddo back there. We're just gonna let in-cap reset. I'm gonna be aggressive here though. Oh, there's a skinny stealthing. They just got a juice off. Oh, they're fighting someone else. That's where the skinny stealth went. We're just gonna trade out the sashimi here, and then we can focus. We got a froggy on the left here. Zook's super dead though. I want to space in to chase that, but all right. So there's a skinny defense right there. We hear skinny stealth. Also, make sure you directionally hit cactuses with your auto attack for where you think they are. Helps if you hit it. Skinny defense. I mean, if skinny stealths, you kind of just have to Q on yourself. Get ready to ult. Obviously, stay on top of your sashimi. Oh, is this just 2v1? Make sure we get rid of the barrel. Well, I tried to get rid of the barrel. At this point, we just don't give him a reset because sashimi cleans that up. Yeah, skinny defense. If positioning is no longer an option against the skinny, space on yourself, Q yourself. Hope you can do enough damage to kill him before he kills you. You kind of just have to Q yourself and get your ult off. Let's talk itemization while we're here though. So like I said, Kiddo's pretty flexible. If you've seen my advanced itemization video, you know there's a lot of factors we should be considering when we're picking our items each game. It's good to have like a itemization that you like and something you prefer, but you need to be flexible with what you're doing. So for example, if I know I'm fighting against assassins and if I know I'm going into a tight cornered area of the map, I might favor something like health and lifesteal and damage, right? Health lets me absorb assassin burst, and then lifesteal and damage means I'm going to be healing stuff back up, obviously, so I'm not dying in one rotation to assassins. If I'm going comp 3s and there's like a lot of wide open space and I'm afraid of like us getting pinched from multiple sides, or I know it's going to be like a really skirmish heavy fight with no one really like committing a lot. For example, if there's no assassins we're fighting against, I might go for something more of like a double CDR, which is a classic Kiddo build that's been around for a very long time. But double CDR, and then like maybe one, and then flex whatever else, double CDR 1 damage, double CDR 1 bulky. Because if we're playing super neutral game like that, and a lot of wide open space, I just want to be getting value off of my Qs and my ults to create space and create pressure. But my usual build now is honestly just like double damage or full damage. Double damage 1 CDR or just triple damage. Like, it feels so much better for me personally, because I'm very confident in my positioning and my tether range on Kiddo. So instead of like spamming Qs, I'd rather just hit a very solid Q and then chain it with some fat auto attacks. And and obviously like the nukes are doing like at 1,000 damage or something. So I don't know if you like that style. I don't know how else to like explain it. I just like doing fat damage with Kiddo, so I run the damage. I don't think I need to run health most of the time, like I said, unless the scenario calls for it, because I'm confident that I'm not going to grief on my positioning. And if I do grief on my positioning, then that's entirely my fault. Like right now, I'm melee range of a frog. Luckily, frog's fucking paper thin at the start of the game. Other itemization, I'll clip back to this point. Other itemization, since Kiddo got LMB damage buffed last patch, people have been running attack speed Kiddo more. I'm just saying, I've said attack speed Kiddo long before any of that, so just a quick reminder. People used to say attack speed was just bottom tier, like worst item you can build on Kiddo, and now everyone's like, attack speed Kiddo was great. It was already decent. It was already good. See, stay away, stay over the wall. Totally fine and dandy. We got full attack speed, or full CDR now. He's slowed. Bop. If I was paying more attention, I would have helped Ariana there, but I wasn't, so I didn't. Positioning first, make sure we live. We kill the TV. Skinny's low enough, I don't mind chasing after him. Like that. That's a good one to have on the clip. That's also why I like damage, because Skinny also doesn't have iframes, and if Skinny's gonna go in on me, same thing. We Q ourselves, we space ourselves, and then I fucking nuke his ass. And just think, if Skinny doesn't go in there and I use up my ultimate, like, that's still good for me, because it forced Skinny not to go in. Now we're playing back at neutral range, which is my preference anyway as Kiddo, so, you know. Alright, so again, not using I'm being very careful to use abilities. Look, if I stopped to auto there, Sashimi would have gotten on top of me. No shot, this guy's just gonna chase me down like that. What the fuck? Yeah, I should get that burn tick off. Nice. And that's all I got today. So again, do me a favor, let me know what you think. I can either keep doing this or I cannot keep doing this. You know, again, it's just me trying to get out fast content for you guys. Don't forget to check out my streams as well. And I do the same thing where I kind of just talk over my thought processes. Let me know in the comments or on Discord if you guys have any questions about anything I talked about, or if you want me to go into anything more in depth. And I will do the best I can to help you guys out. Fellow Kiddo mains. Much love, guys. Peace.